The story begins on a dull Tuesday afternoon, the kind where the fluorescent cafeteria lights flicker just enough to annoy anyone sitting under them. Students were buzzing around, tables clattering, voices rising, and yet the moment she entered, everything dimmed for a second. It wasn't magic, just the weight she carried with her. The weight of being new, the weight of being watched. Her name was Aria Malik. She walked in with her tray clutched tightly in her hands, scanning the room like she was searching for a place that didn't exist. She wasn't shy, but she moved like someone who had been burnt before and wasn't ready to touch fire again. Her jacket was plain, green cotton worn at the elbows. Her hair was tied loosely, a few strands falling across her cheek as she tried to tuck them behind her ear. Her eyes darted between tables, hopeful at first, then gradually resigned. That's when Logan Peters noticed her. Logan, the so-called king of the cafeteria. Blonde hair, expensive smile, the kind of guy who believed the school belonged to him because no one had ever told him otherwise. His group, Chase, Nolan, Brent, sat spread out like wolves around him, each laughing too loud at jokes that weren't funny. Chase nudged Logan. "Yo, new girl at 12 o'clock. Logan leaned back, smirking. "Looks like she's lost. Maybe she needs a tour," Nolan said. "Courtesy of the Peters special." The others laughed, the kind of laugh that meant trouble. Aria saw them looking. Her grip tightened on her tray. She turned quickly, heading for the one empty table near the vending machines. But she barely took 2 steps before Logan stood up and walked right in front of her. "Hey," he said with fake charm dripping like syrup. "You're new, right? Let us help you feel welcome." Aria forced a tiny smile. "I'm fine, thanks." Logan blocked her again. "Come on, don't be rude. We insist." His voice carried across the cafeteria and conversations died down. Everyone knew what "we insist" meant. Aria swallowed. "Please move." Logan looked offended, the kind of offended bullies get when their ego gets poked. "Look at that. She's got a little bite." He glanced at the others. "Let's see if she can bark too." Before she could react, Chase slid behind her, tugging the back of her jacket. She stumbled, her tray tipping, food wobbling dangerously. "Stop," she gasped, trying to pull away. But Logan shoved her shoulder, not too hard, but enough to throw her off balance. She fell forward, straight onto a lunch table. Her tray crashed. Her food spilled everywhere. Gasps echoed around the cafeteria as Aria struggled to push herself up. But Logan slammed his hand down on her back, pinning her to the table like she was nothing. Students froze. Phones lifted. No one moved to help. "Got you now, nerd," Logan growled. "Time to pay the welcome fee." She tried to breathe, but Logan pressed harder. Tears welled up. Her voice cracked. "Please." "Let me go," Logan laughed. "Aw, look, boys, she's crying." Chase mimicked her crying sounds loudly, making the crowd laugh nervously, but then a twist. Far across the cafeteria, a boy stood up. A quiet kid, someone no one ever noticed. Dark hair, hoodie, eyes that never seemed to blink. He was small, thin, almost fragile looking. No one knew much about him except one thing. He never talked. His name was Ethan. He walked slowly toward Logan's table. No expression. No hesitation. Nolan scoffed. "Oh, great. Hoodie boy's gonna save the damsel." He snorted. "What's he gonna do? Glare us to death?" Logan laughed, but it was uneasy. Something about Ethan's calmness pressed on his nerves. When Ethan spoke, his voice was low, steady, the kind that made you listen even if you didn't want to. "Move your hand." The cafeteria went dead silent. Logan blinked. "What?" "I said," Ethan repeated. "Remove your hand from her." Logan smirked, but his jaw tightened. "Or what? You gonna cry next?" Ethan stared, unblinking, cold, calculating. "Last warning." Chase moved forward, shoving Ethan's shoulder. "Back off, freak." Ethan didn't move. He didn't even sway. That made Chase stop laughing. Then Ethan said something no one expected. "If you don't let her go, you won't make it out of here before they arrive." Logan frowned. "Who?" Ethan raised a finger and pointed toward the cafeteria entrance. At that exact moment, the doors burst open. 3 armed security officers rushed inside. Students jumped back. Phones flipped downward. Logan instinctively let go of Aria, who gasped for air and scrambled away. The officers scanned the room rapidly, and then one of them walked straight toward Ethan. "Sir," he said, nodding respectfully, "we came as soon as your father called." A shockwave rolled through the cafeteria. Logan blinked. Father, what? Who the hell? Ethan shoved his hands into his hoodie pockets, expression blank. My father saw the cafeteria feed. It streamed live to his department. What department? Chase asked, voice cracking. Ethan finally smirked, barely, but enough. The FBI. The cafeteria erupted, gasps, screams, backing away. But the officers weren't looking at Ethan. They were looking at Logan and his crew. You four, the lead officer barked. Hands where I can see them. Step forward. Logan's face drained of color. Wait, it wasn't, save it, the officer snapped. Assault, intimidation, harassment, all on camera. Twist after twist hit the room like a storm. But then came another. Aria suddenly stood up shakily and whispered, "Wait, please don't arrest them." Everyone stared, even Ethan. Aria wiped her eyes. "I don't want them arrested. I just want them to understand," Logan whispered. "Why? After what we did to you?" "Because," Aria said softly, "someone helped me once when I didn't deserve it either." Her words hit the room like a pin drop. The officers exchanged glances. Ethan stepped closer. "Aria, you don't have to protect them." "I'm not protecting them," she said. "I'm giving them a chance." Logan looked at her like he couldn't understand what forgiveness even felt like, but the lead officer still stepped forward. "Even if she's gracious, the school board must be informed." "I know," Aria whispered. "Just don't ruin their futures." Logan's lip trembled. For the first time in his life, he had nothing smart to say. Another twist revealed itself when Ethan turned to Aria and said, "You're stronger than they are." She stared at him. "Why did you help me?" He hesitated just a moment and then said, "My sister. She went through what you did. No one helped her. I wasn't going to watch it happen again." It hit Aria harder than she expected. She nodded slowly. Meanwhile, Logan and his friends stood like broken statues. The officers took statements, gathered eyewitness accounts, and escorted the boys to the principal's office. Phones were confiscated. Videos deleted. The school was thrown into chaos. But Aria was safe. Later, as the cafeteria emptied, Aria sat alone at a freshly wiped table, her hands trembling slightly. Ethan walked over, placing a water bottle in front of her. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded. "Yeah." "I think so," he shrugged. "For what it's worth." "You handled it better than most." Aria let out a shaky smile. "Thanks." He turned to walk away. She called out, "Hey, Ethan?" He paused. "You said your dad works for the FBI?" Ethan nodded. "Assistant director." She let out a breathy laugh. "No wonder they panicked," Ethan smirked. "Yeah, bullies like them usually run. But today, they picked the wrong girl on the wrong day." Aria looked down at her hands. "I thought today would be my worst day." She met his eyes. "Turns out it was the beginning of something better." Ethan didn't respond, but the warmth in his eyes said enough. For the first time since entering the school, Aria didn't feel alone. And somewhere down the hallway, Logan sat in the principal's office, replaying the moment he realized the new girl wasn't just another target. She was the reason his world flipped upside down, and he would never, ever forget it.